Kumasi. Welcome to the Y Leaderboard series. My name is Gyakie. As you know, over the weeks I bring people whose story touches your heart, goes deep into your soul, and helps you see life in a different perspective. Last 2 weeks, we sat with Honorable Mike Edu, the Member of Parliament for Ofori-Krom constituency. And if there was anything to take home, so ni makoko japa evana kokoria ubiane nense wejaja mu. But on a more serious note, he urged us to stay focused, and that in life nothing beats focus, which I perfectly agree with him. Once you're focused, you can be able to achieve anything. Tonight, my guest will wow you. He's an amazing gentleman. He's actually everybody's friend, of everyone's doctor. I can call him as late as 2 a.m. and he would answer. Beyond medicine, what is life? And how has life meaningfully changed how he sees things and his influence on people? We'll be talking about all that. And so you're welcome. From now through to 8 p.m., join me on this healthy conversation, and let's have lots to take home. My sponsors are C White Phones, Ambi Executive Restaurant, and Nike Splendor Beauty Salon. Please permit me to say thank you to them in a bit. Ambi Executive Restaurant is situated in the heart of Adiemra, about 500 meters away from the Gracefield Chapel. If you're looking to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I highly recommend Ambi Executive Restaurant. The place is, the Gen Zs will say, it's giving whatever it's supposed to give. So people can send more social media. I read some things, I'm like, yo, I think I'm a millennial, but how did I grow so old? Because what are these kids saying? But Ambi is a place to dine, so beautiful. And their chef, I don't know where, in fact, I am forced to say that when we go to heaven, the chef at Ambi will be the one to cook for us. So I've told that guy to not commit sins so that he doesn't end up cooking for Satan, because he will deny us a lot of things. He cooks well. When I become rich, I'll also hire him. All right? Once in a while, I'll go and eat at Ambi, but more times he'll come and the guy is good. He cooks so well. I'm not sure women can cook that much. Oh my goodness. What makes me love Ambi so much is that if you're looking to make a good impression on someone, Ambi is the place to take them. Like you're running some fine chick who's trying to act like she like but she doesn't like, just take her to Ambi. Let them give her for starters, she can have some spring rolls. For drinks, something to soothe her throat. That's my favorite. Oh, your friend is saying ecstasy. Ambi ecstasy it's made with some shortbread and is it milk and strawberry? Oh, it hits every spot. Let them give her ecstasy. After that, if she's an ansemu like Abnaki, give her jollof it goat. They are jollof with proper goods, all right? And maybe you would want to make her know that you take care of her and her household. So give her something to take home. Let her take the Ambi all-season pizza home. Jack, as soon as she gets home, if mommy no go call you, say the relationship afar. As I picking. And on Sundays, there's fufu and akrantian kwai, fufu and every type of soup at Ambi. So on Sundays, fufu days are super. On Saturdays, there's a brunch. Super cool. Visit Ambi very soon. Please call them on 0597 839363. Find and please follow them on all social media platforms at Ambi underscore GH. And B isn't just a restaurant, it's a community, because over there is a pinch of passion in every dish. And Ike Splendor Beauty Salon also sponsors me on the Leaderboard Series show. As you know, a salon, a beauty salon. So they are the home for everything beauty and relaxation, all right? They are right next to the golf park at Ahujunshire, so right next to the golf park. They offer flawless makeup. They are expert in hairstyling. Aha, it's a graduation season again. Me and Kama say, "Sena missy brepa mitri school ni fame bono. Adame we school no. Me na mana me cha. Hello, I just graduado. Uchia me hello, I just graduado. Cause school ne bono na me bono. So since it's a graduation season, all right, you want to look specced up. I mean, ako school a bre ngomasi na form. You want to look awesome. Please, let Ike Splendor Beauty Salon dress you up. Ubeka semi bema no mudede no beya mam oye bema. We'll give you some facial grooming, we'll give you some pedicure and manicure. Manicure yen show nails, alright? Chuchu nse chikakra chuchu ne chino ha. Ne se o she graduation suit na uchia ubia. And we say yeah, wa graduado. Man so your hairstyling, your makeup, everything beauty. All right, you're getting married, you've given birth, you're naming your child, you're having a party. Bibia ye makeup ne hair e de kobiano. Let Ike Splendor Beauty Salon handle all that. And now we've introduced a spa service. So after a long month, a long week, please come around for a relaxing spa experience. We'll give you some cool massage that will refresh you. You need to invest in your self-care, all right? Oh yeah, I say, well, next of kin do sika bewe kwe. When mame catch on, tibomadia, fasikani because spa, any Ike or best sortil. Please call 0543 543 111 to book us. We do walk-in service, but it's best if you book us in advance, all right, to avoid any disappointment. Find us at Ahujunshire, so like I said, right next to the golf park, and follow us Ike Splendor underscore salon. Ike Splendor is spelled ERNIEKAY underscore Splendor. The regular Splendor that you know, SPLENDOR, and then we would redefine your beauty. And now to my favorite people to see white phones. On Palm Sunday, an auntie of mine, her phone fell in the palm nut soup. Dr. Gyimah, why do this? I'm not even lying. When you call or the hello sir from the tongue quiet him. Tibe Busome now this a wolf pen out racy the pabembians as a corner hair transit. My inner comedy is what are you guys doing? I'm being honest. Oh, I'm pop myself friend call air transit. If you're ready, kind they just be no more pass I'm on a ban one. So I said and someone said hello. And I was one year so they make see radio system for tongue. And so per phone I did, but and also the phone on insurance. When I say on insurance, she doesn't know who to go to next when she has phone issues. So she needs to either save, So I told her, you know what, see wide, and I've actually told see wide, say on pay book beyond. Mami 40 cents and on betro mudi. Busumi beyond for 20 cities. I don't two phone mususungo. The phone bomb what the atta bank movie, my own man the phone down near Yaman Nordico because said so. But see white phones on a more serious note offers buy now, pay later policy. So please do not be like my dear Auntie Mansa and don't let your phone fall down in a soup or like your phone just get missing and like you don't have any way to get a new phone. It will be terrible. With C-Wide phones, even if you don't have a phone, just walk to us, show us your Ghana card, give us your payment plan, And that's it. Bingo. You are walking out of the office with a brand new mobile phone. Be it iPhone, Samsung, Infinix, itel, Huawei, whatever phone you want to buy, you can have it. Then again, if you want to do a buy on spot too, you can do that, all right? Yemfanye Felicia Nkwa, opese uchia na auto phone, you can do that. Not just so, they sell all mobile phone accessories, so headsets, chargers, screen protectors, phone covers, every type of phone accessory. C-Wide Phones has them. Their hotline, you can call them Sunday to Sunday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 12, call them on 0245 05 1799. Find C-Wide Phones at Kejetia, beside the main MTN office. And then he's inside the old Dakate Farms building beside Ijaba at Edum. He's also at the Sobolo station at Edum PZ. And then at the Sambra Hotel Junction, they've built a new building called the Champion Building. He's inside. It's down the old Melcom. So find C-Wide Phones. Because C-Wide Phones today, Jack Obiase. After this quick breather, we get talking with my guest. Stay with him.
When the food is rich and tasty, Adam's Kitchen. Ain't you beer to me, Toby? A Ghanaian making Zeda, see packaging. Adam's Kitchen, jollof and fried rice with assorted options. I want to do pizza, special noodles, Bunkune tilapia. Adam's Kitchen, aroma no Kumasi, your main restaurants, El Panoso, Tafo, Kenwesi, and Amstead. More flavor. Namu Buakwani Atasmanso, Yamamu mini restaurants. Adam's Kitchen joints, Ubeyebi Wapatrapa, Boko Chrome, and in Nigeria. You will order says ya, not to enum 053 7277 856 and answer 020 320 4416. Adam's Kitchen.
YFM 102.5.
So we are back from the commercial break. Behind every great system, all right, is a leader who dares to care deeply, and then he leads boldly, serves very selflessly. And today on Leaderboard Series, I'm welcoming not just a medical doctor or an entrepreneur, but someone who is like a pillar in Ghana's healthcare and media landscape too. I remember that there are days where I would ask him why he didn't become a radio or TV personality. He had to become a medical officer because he has all the brains, like all the ideas. You just walk to him and share your thoughts, like, okay, these and these are thoughts flashing in my head, and he will help you put the puzzle together. You walk out of his office or his space with a full idea. He is the medical superintendent of Mampong Government Hospital. He is a trailblazer in the public health, a visionary entrepreneur. We'll talk about that. And the host of Orange Health Lounge on Orange FM, where he breaks down medical knowledge, for the masses, all right? So there are some terms that you probably get scared about it, but he'll be able to lower it down for you to understand. But beyond the titles, he's been a silent rock for many media talents, creative industry players, and dreamers, including myself. I'll tell you what, he believed in me when a few did, and gave me my first billboard contract, like first exposure. Adami who sent me the pull up cross Amanda. And this was more than I ever asked for. This was in 2019 during the Kumasi O2 show. All I had was a call from him to compose, and before I knew, my pictures were all over. And he believed so much in me, not just me, lots of us in the creative and media industry. And so this is more than an interview. It's a celebration of a man whose influence stretches, from the hospital wards to airwaves, to rural communities, to urban boards, and to a man who just believes. And I believe that his story tonight would inspire everybody who listens. Ladies and gentlemen, he tells me his favorite gospel song is Hold On from Bene Sofe. My guest tonight is Dr. Kwasi Baffour Gyimah. Hallelujah.
YFM 102.5. YFM 102.5. YFM 102.5. YFM 102.5. YFM 102.5.
So usually whenever I see you, I say, dear Dr. Gyimah, Koma. So I guess, Dr. Gyimah,
Yes.
it's taking you too long to even come on my show. Why?
Oh, Lordina, it's not my fault.
Why are you calling me Lordina on radio? Why are you calling me Lordina on my show? Why?
It's your name, is it not?
But I'm not used to being called Lodina.
But most people don't know you're Lodina.
Why you so?
I mean, let the cat out of the bag.
Are we having a naming ceremony for me today on the show?
Well, I want people to know that Abnake is also called Lodina.
But you know that the song, hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I love music. Like I me penyum. But this particular song carried me through a broken heart some years ago. and you need any baby mamisu. Hold on.
So, it's when you get a broken heart that you understand the lyrics.
I'm
of
telling
the song.
you.
Yeah.
So all the while I was listening to the song, I had no hold on enough. When I had my
you were not paying attention to the lyrics.
No, that day I remember I walked from Fanchinibra to Sofalai singing hold on. I looped that part alone to play. So I don't know what you like about the song or why you like the song, but me,
that's your.
It carried me through.
Oh, but
that boy, God will not forgive him.
You watch too many Nigerian movies. He's fine.
Dr. Gyimah, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. Yeah. And I think maybe today is going to be an opportunity for me to finally say thank you to you for all your incredible investments in my career. But let me ask you, why did you end up on TV, on radio, but you're a doctor?
Let me say good evening to everybody who is listening. I know a lot of people.
Yes,
said,
your fans.
I'm not celebrate you.
You are.
Yeah, but radio, or TV. Okay, I've always loved listening to radio. So I belong to the Joy FM, Choice FM, Vibe FM, radio booming in Ghana generation. So I grew up listening to a lot of radio.
You look like a dadaba. Like you're home, maybe in the morning,
so
listen to radio, read newspapers.
So I grew up in Accra.
Oh.
So, I'm not a Kumasi boy.
I didn't know this.
I know, right? I grew up in Accra.
Right.
So I went to primary school in Accra. I went to JSS in Accra.
I didn't know this. So where in Accra did you live?
So we lived initially in Mataheko, and then later we moved to Ashimota Mile 7.
Okay.
Then somewhere in 1998 or 1999 we moved to East Legon.
Okay.
Yes.
So you lived there until you came.
I lived there until I came to medical school here in 2003. And then Kumasi is now home.
What are some of the schools you attended from?
Okay, so primary school, I went to St. Anthony's School. It was one of the biggest private schools in Ghana then. Pabj knows it very well because Pabj's primary school was very close to where I went to school. So I went to St. Anthony's. Then for senior high school or senior secondary school, let me still say high school, I went to the old school. So I went to St. Augustine's College. I'm an Absunian.
YFM.
And then for university, so I'm alumni of 3 universities. So I went to KN University Medical School.
Okay.
Then I went to University of Warwick in the UK.
Okay.
And then University of Ghana Business School.
This is YFM.
Did the dream about... Was there ever a dream to be a doctor from childhood?
No. I'm a doctor because of my dad and my mom. Like my parents.
Okay.
I did not want to do medicine. And I did not want to do medicine. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to be a chemical engineer, to be exact.
Okay.
But I remember one of my dad's really good friends, Professor Dr. Se Rekubrebe.
MPB's Rekubrebe? The political Rekubrebe?
No, I think they're related.
Okay.
So he came home somewhere in 2001, and then I think I was in SS2 or something, and I was a science and maths quiz person.
Okay.
I was part of the team in my school. So I think they were talking, and then he said, when I saw Bawe Obetimi a doctor, like Dr. Befatano.
Just like that. Like in passing.
Like in passing. It never really settled in my mind. I just thought of it as a good compliment. Then fast forward, when we wrote SSC, he actually went to KNUST Medical School, and I mean, he's a past dean. He's a lecturer. He's a consultant, and he got me admission.
Okay.
I didn't apply.
Okay.
I had applied to do chemical engineering at Tech, and I had applied to do medicine in Legon. No, Legon, you couldn't do medicine straight. You had to do 1.5 years of science. Then you write an exam, which was like a justify your inclusion. When you pass, then you go to Kolebu.
I see.
And I've been at all my friends from St. Augustine's, from Pope John's, from OWAS. Everybody was going to Legon. And I was the only one who was coming to Kwasi. Like the only one amongst my friends was coming to Kwasi.
Must have been some way for you.
So I remember I told my dad, you let me start registering in Legon. If I'm able to finish the registration before the admission letter for KNUST comes. Cool. My dad said, fine, no problem. So we lived close to, from East Legon then to Legon campus. And I had a car, so I could drive. So I went to, I was doing the registration process, and I think my dad saw me coming and going, I think after like 3 days, and I go home and he was like, oh, your admission letter has come from KNUST. So I know you're not prepared, but you just go and see how Tech also looks like, because before then I had never come to Kwasi before.
How old were you by then?
18. Okay,
but let's go back again. What were your parents into?
So my dad was a chemical engineer. He worked at Anglo Gold. Later he went into banking. He became the MD for NIB for about 8 years or 9 years.
So you wanted to follow suit your dad?
This is YFM.
And my mom is a businesswoman. My mom has shops at the Makola shopping mall before it became really congested.
Right.
So like they're business people.
Right.
So
and then your siblings, how many are you and where do you fall?
So I have, it's very difficult for me. So I had 3 siblings. So I'm the third of 4 boys. We're just boys.
Okay.
So my brother that I come directly after passed away like a year ago.
Yes, I'm so sorry about
he
that.
He passed away a year ago, and then I have a younger brother. So I have an older brother. He's 1, and then 2 is no longer there, and I'm 3, and then I have a younger brother.
So now there are 2 of you.
Now there are 3 of us.
3 boys.
Yes, 3 boys.
No girl.
No sister.
You lost 2 of your siblings.
I lost 1 of my siblings last year.
Okay.
Yes, just 1.
Okay. But you are not the firstborn.
No, I'm the third.
So what was your first brother studying?
So my first brother, he's into IT, and later he directed to do business.
And the next one?
And Leslie was into IT. He was.
And they all didn't come to Kumasi?
No.
They were all from Legon?
Everybody did everything in Accra.
Was there something that irked you about coming to Kumasi, or you had no family, you thought you would not sail through?
Let me tell you a funny story. When I was selecting schools for, BC, like those days you select schools, the only schools I knew were St. Augustine's, because my dad went to St. Augustine's, Pope John's, because my dad went to Pope John's, and St. Peter's, because my oldest brother was in St. Peter's.
Okay.
Then Infantipim, because Dr. Leotano, who is actually like my brother. We grew up in the same home. He was my oldest brother's friend. So Elliot grew up with us.
Okay.
Elliot went to Infantipim. Those are the 4 schools I knew. I didn't know WAS. I hadn't heard it before.
The WAS boys will not be happy with you.
I didn't know WAS. I didn't know Prempe. So Kumasi was not somewhere that I knew. Again,
where are you from? Like your mom, your dad?
So
and there were no family in Kumasi at all?
No. So I'm an Adanse boy. I'm from Adanse Akokere.
Okay.
Yes, on the Obasi Road.
This is YFM.
And I said, "Utmi fa Accra and Sokobwase." But like Kumasi was somewhere I had zero idea about. I had started an STC from Accra through Kumasi to Sunyani, and the only thing I remember is the KNUST gate. That's the only thing I remember. Like that's the only picture in my mind about Kumasi.
Finally, you're coming to Kumasi.
Yes.
To Kwame Tech. Did you come alone?
Yes. So when I was given, my dad said, okay, I'd gotten the admission. Rebecca said, I'm privileged, I mean few. So at that time, there was an airline, there was a very small airline that was running Accra Kumasi. It was called CityLink.
I think I've heard the name.
Yes, so I took a CityLink from the airport and landed in Kumasi Airport with just one bag.
Okay. To come and try your luck.
To come and
assess the place.
Register, you know. I'm interested in it.
Right.
And I remember I was met at the airport by Chief. I'll only say his name, Chief. I won't mention his last name. I'll tell you off air. So
that's okay.
Chief met me and drove me to KNUST. And I'm going to be honest. When I entered KNUST and I saw like the order, like they were more register, everything was so simple, seamless. Legon were like rats in a box. So everybody's running somewhere to get registered. But I came to Tech and they said, oh, go to Unity Hall, go and pay your RFUF. I went, I gave them the check, they wrote my name, they looked at it and said, okay, I should go to room 196.
Okay.
Which I thought was on the first floor, but was on the 7th floor. Not just a one chair, so first floor, hotel staff.
Okay. So
I went, paid for Unity Hall, went to administration, paid academic facilities a fee. Then he said, oh, so take this to the medical school. So Chief drove me to the medical school. I went, submitted it to the accounts. Uncle Charles, I don't know where he is. He was an account staff at medical school. He was really, really kind to me. For years, he was really, really kind to me. So I remember giving it to him and he said, yes, that's it. Like, you are registered.
In a day?
In a matter of like 2 hours.
Right.
And I was like, is that all? He's like, yes, like, that's it. Like, go for your timetables and stuff. Orientation is next week. So I called my dad and I was like, and that time, in Unity Hall, they had a comm center. It was down there. You had to go and book to go and make your call.
Unity for Conti.
Okay. There was a comm center down there. This is like 2003. But I had a phone. I had a Nokia 3210. Lordin, I mean, I had a Nokia 3210. At that time, there were only two Nokias, 3210 and 3310.
The 3310.
I had a 3210. And I called my dad and I said, oh, I finished registering. He was like, yeah, KNUST is very advanced, and so you know, like you like it. I said, okay, you let me sort a few things out.
But when now ban setting up because with your one ban.
No, I wasn't setting. So that day I slept at I slept out of campus. I slept in Chief's dad's house, and then the following day I went back to Accra to go and pack and come back to KNUST.
Now you were convinced you want to stay in
Yes, I mean, when I was leaving Tech campus, I was like, there's something different about this school.
So you want to like
it looks very ordered. So I said, yeah. And
this is YFM.
Now, medicine to a lot of people is hard. Like you need to, for someone like me, who no matter how much they try, I won't score maths. In fact, let me say this: if I ever bring a maths exam with an A or B in my name, just know it was by the grace of God. I mean, yeah, maybe B plus, cool. A, as for A, if I ever show up with an A, it's on my paper. Go and authenticate again. So it kills a lot of people. Like, oh, if you're not smart in math or in science. Would you say because you were in the national science and maths, the school science and maths team, nanka ubetuma easy into medicine there wasn't that difficult for you to do?
Okay.
Or there were things that were scaring you about being in a medical school?
So let me tell you this about medicine. Medicine is for average students. Medicine is not really for our brightest. Let me be honest. Anybody who has the passion, has their head screwed on right, can do medicine.
Oh.
Yes. It's just because of the competitive nature of our senior high school system. It's because there are very few medical schools. Until recently, it was just KNUST and then University of Ghana. Now we have UCC, we have UHAS, we have UDS, you know. So they had to make it competitive. But when you go outside Ghana, the people who do physics, chemistry, maths, statistics, they are the 8 people.
Okay.
Because medicine is more about, when you start it out, it's difficult. I mean, let me not lie to people. Medicine is difficult because you read a lot of voluminous text, like books and so on. There's no small textbook in medicine. When a medical student says, I'm going to read a textbook, think 500, 600, 700 pages. Yes. Like, it takes dedication to do medicine.
Commitment.
If you are not committed, you will struggle. You understand? If you're not committed, that's what I'm saying. If you are an average student and you have the can do medicine. So if you're a parent out there and you feel your child is not super smart, but your child is average, encourage your child to just do a bit more. And if you don't do medicine, push them to medicine. They will come out to be the best. Trust me.
How's your now? This was you not being sure you're going to do well in tech, or like as a do well, as saying you will enjoy your stay. You finally settled in. Take us through your first year, second year experiences. Medical.
Let me mention my friends in tech. DJ Slim.
Yes, and Williams tells me he's your classmate too. Just one later.
Yes.
He told me today.
Williams was in the physiotherapy.
That guy is grown, so he's acting like he's a young.
I'm not grown.
This is YFM.
Because when he told me today that he's young, I'm like, hey, when you know.
So Williams belongs to the first batch of students who came to KNUST to learn physiotherapy. So we all entered KNUST in the same year. Yes. So tech was really fun.
Okay. DJ Slim is your mate. Who again?
DJ Slim is my mate. So John DeMello and I used to go to church.
So it's not a lie that John DeMello came to KNUST.
Oh, John
we
was
heard that he
tech.
never attended lectures and all
John
those
was
things.
in tech. We used to go to church at Report every Tuesday.
Was he an actor then?
No.
He had no screen thing.
No, he had no screen thing.
Okay. Who again?
Who a lot to
Please, Kai B. Niam Faisho be our agent and John DeMello.
Oh no, there are a lot of people.
What about the ladies?
The ladies. Charlie, a lot of things have
but
become.
we know DJ Slim.
Yes. So DJ Slim, like my friends in tech.
Was he slim?
Has he ever been slim?
Please, I don't know. Please, I don't know. You knew him.
So my friends in tech were not really medical students.
It doesn't matter.
My friends in tech were people in social sciences, people in natural resources. They were all over the place. So I remember in first year, someone asked me, say, into where medicine?
Because you're everywhere.
Like, me pose me kobi.
Sir?
Me ko pose pa.
When it do,
like, I'll go to pose. They'll be doing. I didn't like the always around because they argue too much. But like, be a maybe. You understand?
Ajudin Kwasi Gyimah.
At that time there was a nightclub in Kumasi called Genesis. Friday back of Ahobi. It was just experiencing what the university had to offer, but not forgetting that you needed to study.
So I was going to ask, how are you balancing all that extracurricular activities?
Just have a schedule.
Okay.
Friday in Suande.
Friday day in Suande. You may book more. Okay.
Friday, relax and enjoy. Because Saturday class be anyhow.
I'm sure they were using your car to go and have fun.
So when I came to first year, I sold my car.
We'll talk about that.
So I had a lot of friends on campus, and it was good. Like tech was very, and I think it still is. I went to a campus recently. KNUST is very holistic. If you want it to be holistic for you.
This is YFM.
Progressing into the medical school, were you seeing your dream materialize right before your eyes, or there were things that made you still reconsider this medical thing, because in the first place it wasn't something you really wanted to do?
No. So I mean, I had a really good friend in med school. He's still my friend now. Our kids go to the same school, Robert Kwabena. So Robert was my roommate from second year to like fifth year. You understand? And he came from a family of like medics. So, you know, initially when I started, I was like the happy-go-lucky guy. You know, med school, everybody's wearing material trousers and long sleeves. Jeans and t-shirts. Yeah, because like my friends were jeans and t-shirts wearing guys. So in the first year and I think probably the second year of med school, it was cool. Like my grades were really good, but I didn't feel like
being a doctor.
Like being a doctor.
Being here.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I will study, I'll get the grades, I'll pass. But
there was no passion.
And I don't fault anybody who is in medicine now and in the pre-clinic years, before you touch a sick person and probably make them better, if you're not feeling it yet, it's quite normal. Because everything there is textbook. Learn, pass, learn, pass, learn, pass. So in the early years, it wasn't there.
Learn, pass, learn, pass, learn, pass. Now it gets to a point where you have to do the practicals. Were you ready? And what was this one practical experience that you'd always remember?
It's funny you should ask. I was actually talking to somebody about it today. In the first year, we went to 37. So in your first year, you're supposed to do what they call like hospital practice, like nursing practice.
Okay.
So I went to do mine with a few of my classmates, Anas and a few others, at 37. And there, that was like fresh introduction to hospital. And that was where like you saw like sick people and you know, this person is not doing well and this person is really sick. I'm like, hey, do I really want to do this work? But we came into contact there at 37 with older doctors. I remember the first time I saw somebody's foot that had a laceration.
What is that?
Like a cut, like a deep cut.
He's here again. He's here. Like you could have simply said a cut.
Like a deep cut, right?
Right.
I was dizzy. When the ER at 37.
What happened to the person? Would you remember?
The person was cutting tiles, and I think the machine just. So I saw it and I was instantly dizzy. So there were some, I can't remember their names now because I think it's such a while ago.
He lost some toes?
No, he didn't lose any toe, but it was in between the big toe and then the next toe.
Okay.
So like there were some very great like young doctors there. One of them said, "You're feeling dizzy, sit down." I don't know how he knew. I was just like, "You're feeling dizzy, sit down." So I sat down. Then like they stopped the bleeding and then like they did all the things that they were supposed to do, switched it up and everything, and it looked really cool. So then he came to me and he said, like, "This is medicine. This is what you have signed up for. So like use every experience you get in the hospital to make up your mind that when you finish school,
you'll be seeing
like
more
like this is your day to day." So I think after that I won myself into like saying a tear. So when you go to the ward and someone dies or somebody has a tube in their nose or something, you know, you build up on it. And I think, you know, one experience led to the other. So we went to clinical years.
On the day that you were going to, how do you say is it induction?
Yes.
To be a medical doctor. Yeah. How did you feel the night before? And then your parents, I mean your dad in particular.
I can't disclose what we the boys did the night before.
We know.
But we had a lot of fun the night before.
We know. You don't need to tell us.
We were worried that we were going to miss the induction. In fact, one of my friends actually only walked in, and I think he walked in and we were about 30 minutes through the induction because we were tired. Yeah, we had a really, really good night the day before. My parents were really happy. I mean, for my family, I'm like the only doctor in my family.
The first generation doctor.
Yes. I'm the only doctor in my family. Nuclear and extended.
Right.
Yes. So, but I have a lot of cousins who are pharmacists, but I'm the only doctor in my family. So it was a proud moment for my parents.
This is YFM.
I had done it well, and I had made it. So yeah, it felt good.
Pacho, we are streaming live on our Facebook page. We've been streaming since 6 p.m. So if you are not on the Facebook live, you are missing out. Come and see the fine, easy doctor. I'll say hello to all the people watching in a bit.
I'm a computer
Ghana Easter promotion nana. Ani Easter sales are kesiapa na kosubo Compute Ghana branches ni nyinemu. Every ne ekosi 30th April. Mawansanka deals are kese up to 50%. Sa obeto brands biti se LG, Samsung, TCL, HP, Lenovo, Tecno, Infinix, Itel. Enyeke ka wo bebre. Nyede wo mni se wo kwan se wo be didi kesi ankasa. Ani obetimi win 85-inch smart TV, iPhones, laptops. Enyeke ka wo bebre. Ko Compute Ghana branch bi e benwo. Na bomodi an sell products ga ohwehwe bia won sabeka. Afi se opeso ora draw ni mu a. Ende invoice number no. Na wa bako short code no. Ende anu ano no. Owo draw ni mu ano no. Raffle draw na baso May 2nd. Na eye wo ena wo betimi yedi nkunim. Memma sa kwenya wempa wo ho. Shop online at www.computeghana.com. And akoyen showroom se wo maimu baby a. Fre 030-275-2020. And our WhatsApp in 024-314-3143. Promo yi yene National Lottery Authority and our Caritas Lottery platform no so ene yejuma. Ese se kakra wo ho.
Bema wo Johnson ni mu pai ebikam eyawo eni moja edi akira ana wote mpampan ewo Johnson n'echi ensansa gu bema no ho edura ebeboa wo eni amuzupi oba obam no wote mpampan bone ewom ensuo bi fifiri mu ba etoda emu ekeka wo edura ebeboa wo eni amuzupi ubenya bi ewo pharmacy ne herbal shops nyinam.
Did you know combining red with alcohol or energy drinks is danger your heart or liver in seconds? Mixing drugs with drinks is a shortcut to emergency room or the grave. Red Means Stop campaign is brought to you by the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment in partnership with YFM and Entertainment Week Ghana. Greatness comes from growth, not drugs.
When you have the extra bit of ambition in your heart, you also need that extra bit of energy to come through. And for that, Rush Energy Drink is the boost you need. Created in the USA and proudly made in Ghana. Thanks to its unique formula, you have the power of ginseng, the benefit of vitamins, and the energy of inositol, taurine, and caffeine. Stay active and energized.
Malaria fever. Have a mister.
Hey, na nanti musta bia aba foforo no ana. Na wo nanti ana wache usisi wo sugar. Se wonni me yare ne na me nipadua mu a enka wie wonya me rofo kra. Oh, sorry. Ya ready en fancy nipa. Minim ene etie me yare ankasa. Oh, kakra na nansi ache me. Me chinka sei asemubu. Ade wonni Lawson herbal mixture e wo fie. Lawson herbal mixture. Ene wadwuma ye pa. If we say se me malaria ne kan ne ho a. Achinje sei ena Lawson herbal mixture so edisun kunim no. Honam ya pa. Wo bo mo bia umia no kra won tehwe enso akire no na ye no ya afe malaria koko afitikromu amani hunu wapo so taye wo ya me adien eya na mentiri mu ta hwe me pa na ase de mikotoja hunu bisa me so de banchi abobo ngumu a Lawson herbal mixture ebetine tama ho atokra ene ye se Lawson herbal mixture ma me hoto me dia me da was na we no enye sika na me de da was oh let us in kind wo no what you believe ya me ko pedia bros sia our pharmacy chemical na herbal shop bia be me omanfon frɛ 020-267-5778 and then 0242-133-577 Lawson herbal mixture.
Mema etiefo nyina akwa ababa Amuzu Herbal Clinic na yededro bia ba efre no Amuzu Garlic Bitters eyedura emamoje die fusane ewo nipadua nu mu eyedura ebua ma obia ne pressure ewo soro eba fom pa obi so a otiemia wadress rade abro so obehia Amuzu Garlic Bitters. Amuzu Garlic Bitters prevent numbness so be say mensa anasa minan 83 nedro eye Amuzu Garlic Bitters. Amuzu Garlic Bitters controls urine flow. Dear audience so bebre anaso so basa no onye Amuzu Garlic no mu a emesoti kura. Amuzu Garlic Bitters prevent sciatic pains. Obi say doctor me to ase twetwe me onye Amuzu Garlic no mu atu edi. Amuzu Garlic Bitters is good for stroke patient. Obi anya stroke, obu a stroke na born in kaye. Unya Amuzu Garlic no atu edi. Sama dre na sofu bi anya stroke for years. Watot wa minu panom. Ai na wetimi asore ananti waka. Amuzu garlic bitters boost the immune system and fight infections. Se utie me na se uyo chembe wu yare biya ba bekrawa. Kopa amuzu garlic no mu en ne ma ho ye dene. Na kutie nyarewa. Amuzu garlic bitters prevent body weakness. Obu ha ahomre woni so. Amuzu garlic bitters dilate the arteries. Ebia intinimu mamoja edefusani ye pa. Amuzu garlic bitters support the pancreas. Amuzu garlic no pancreas no ya dene modidi a ekotwetwe sugar na glucose na mu no. Me so te mass sugar eba normal. Amuzu garlic bitters improves vision. Obu ho ani pressure was with the man de hunu wo form. Onya amuzu garlic no mo bua ma friends woni na eye wisi no we hu ade yie pa. Amuzu garlic bitters prevent palpitation. Nipa bia home ban sese home no e wosu bebre sa kope amuzu garlic nenom. Amuzu garlic bitters prevent insomnia. Obu ha obre pansa wada ye fradi basic any sulfur e ye rich amuzu garlic mu ye go gu mu a na my body ne home na home bo se nche na wada enti de na ho edima no no kope amuzu garlic bitters nenom. Amuzu garlic bitters rich in allicin and selenium, which helps improve blood circulation on the male sex organ. Inti bema osi oda homachi antini bema nkano. Kopa amuzu garlic no mwe. No mo jeni die fusane enko bema no honadachi a watini nka. Amuzu garlic bitters is rich in agioni. Ena musa agioni ninti ebo ema awodi akwa no ho ban. Ema sebuo, ema koso atuo nyina no, emani nyina koso kama. Inti oba obuni se a embe yie, ube hia amuzu garlic bitters. Oba on person na wo eti koso hia amuzu garlic bitters. Uko drugstore, pharmacy, anase herbal shop biara, ube nye bi ato. Upe drone se mi se bi nso a, no afra mi nama eye 0247 776743 0247 77 6743. Amuzu Herbal Clinic, Mauji Hiochalo.
Your Wednesdays just got exciting. Midweek Madness Wabonte. Join us every Wednesday at the P2 Lounge, Kumasi City Mall. Let's party in madness. Don't forget, the party is gonna be live on YFM. This is Midweek Madness.
To phone bia, any accessories or sea white foods. A hot down your papa. They go off of sea white foods or bia see.
So off air, there were lots of conversations happening, but don't worry, I won't keep you out of it. You hear more. But you'll come and join us on our Facebook page. Please join us on our Facebook page at Y102.5 FM and watch us live as you listen to all that we are saying. Hello to Commotion GH. You're watching from United Arab Emirates. It's been a while, Abnaki. Yes, so Charlie, I did there. Dr. Sosai says, Doctor, all the way. I'm watching you now. Tony Dad says, I'm here because of the show. It's my favorite. And hey, doctor, ages are being reviewed with the way you're going. Auntie Eunice is watching. Eunice Akutata Kramen, who says, one of the most hardworking medical doctors in Ghana, down to earth, respectful, humble. God bless Dr. Baffour Gyimah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
O.R. Nanado says, Ablaki, what you like from Asakori Mampo? Nice knowing you are called Lordina. Mamo Nyesa. Lordina Madakamudi. Doc, finally you are a doctor. Where did you have your housemanship? And how was that experience for you?
Yeah, so I did, we did 2 years of housemanship. So I did my first year in Konfanoche.
Okay.
And then I did my second year in Koforidua.
I feel when you have a
No, but after, so I went to medical school for 7 years.
Okay.
So 2003 to 2010.
Is it not supposed to be 6?
You belong to the new school. We were the old school. So we did 4 years in KNUST. And then 3 years at Konfanoche. It's now that they do 3 years at KNUST and 3 years at Konfanoche.
So that 3 years at Konfanoche, no, it means you no longer study at KNUST.
Well, yes, you no longer come to KNUST. You are at Konfanoche.
Okay.
Your teaching, your learning, your class, your hostel, everything is at Konfanoche.
Okay.
So first year in Konfanoche, second year in Koforidua.
Okay.
So because we're supposed to do 1 year outside the teaching hostel. So I did Confanoche.
And how was that for you? Now you are finally coming into terms with everything that even though people, seniors had started pushing you for, seeing it like, you know, on a daily basis. How was that for you?
It was mixed. I mean, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's very scary. Let me be honest. Sometimes it's scary, like you go on night duty as the cover doctor for the whole Confanoche D block.
What's the cover doctor? So
at night, there's one doctor who watches over the ward.
Right.
For emergencies, somebody needs a line, somebody needs a new order put in, somebody's having a cardiac arrest, maybe. So we used to, I don't know if it's changed now, but we used to be one doctor during the night for the entire block.
Okay.
So imagine the whole D block.
Now
from C6, D5 fevers, D5, D4, D3.
All you.
For that 12 hours in the night, it is you and over 100 patients.
That's a Herculean task.
So sometimes it's scary. You understand? But I must always say this, that Confanoche then and now has some of the best nurses that I know, some of the best lab staff that I know, some of the best pharmacists that I know.
Always quick to respond.
Because they have been doing this longer than you have. So when you come in as a house officer, you must be humble.
Okay.
Because
I hear this a lot too.
Yeah, because they will teach you the job.
I hear this a lot.
They've been doing this for like. They've been doing this.
If you come and you show your shoulders, they also show their shoulders.
They've been doing this 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 years before you came in.
But it doesn't mean they should bully the house officers, right?
Well, there is some level of bullying that goes on, but it's part of the job. Like it toughens you up. You understand? But I remember, like, it's some of the nurses who say, "Oh, like this thing, you know, you don't write it like this. So let me bring you one that somebody has written before, and write it like that."
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And sometimes when you're on night duty with some of them, they know that okay, these maybe are bed 6, bed 12, bed 15. You know, like their cases are critical. So make sure every 30 minutes, like you're coming around to come and check up on it. You know, or sometimes I remember there was a nurse, I'm bad with names, Naomi.
Okay.
She would say, let's stay on the ward. Like nights no aban or no nearby. Let's stay on the ward. The ward, like I said, the ward is not good. There are a lot of cases on the ward that needs your attention. So let's stay here. Let's try and sort a lot of it out. When it's a bit calm, you can go and sleep. When it's an emergency, I'll come and call you.
Okay.
So Confanoche was a lot of learning on the job, and we had really, really good people who like guided us, you know, like Dr. Eisen, Dr. Patrick Opon, blessed memory, Dr. Lambert Apia, Dr. Yahweh Dubuache, you know, Dr. Kowa, Dr. Kokro, Kole, like there were lots of people who were around to sort of make sure that you were doing the right thing.
And the whole
This is YFM.
Because each ward has cases from different teams. So from the respiratory team, from the GI team, from the nephrology team, like Obia Debi Daho. And you have to have a very good understanding of how to manage
all that situation,
all those things. So Confanoche was a very, very sharp learning curve, but a really good learning curve, because it taught you how to think on your feet, and also, like I keep saying, how to be humble.
Let me ask you this: so those who end up being pathologists, are they all part of you guys from the medical school?
Yes, so
and then they later veer off into pathology?
Everybody later decides what they want to do.
Okay. So are you guys, we hear that they go and see bodies to examine people. Is it for everybody or especially for those people?
Okay, so when you're in med school, I know it's changed a bit now. I know it's changed a bit now because of technology. But when we were in third year in Confanoche, third year you do anatomy.
Okay.
No, when we're in third year in KNUST, third year you do anatomy, and those days anatomies, we did it gross, like we did it with live human beings. Or is it like we did with cadavers?
What is cadavers?
Cadaver, like a dead body. I don't want to say dead body or hate you, but
they are dead bodies.
Yes, so we did anatomy with dead bodies on the table. So when they say this is a liver,
okay,
this is it.
So whose dead body do they use?
Oh, people donate their dead bodies.
That they don't want to organize a funeral for?
Yes. There are people who donate their bodies to the medical school.
Why? They didn't like the person that died?
No. So if your body is used to teach the next generation of doctors, it's dignifying.
That's what be away you say. Now, the Muslim donating body.
Yes.
Saying fine.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, some people donate. Yes.
You just say, okay, as far as
they write it. Yes, they write it in their wills and all that, and they donate their bodies.
Okay, whilst they are alive.
Whilst they are alive.
I thought it's a decision taken.
No. Whilst they are alive, people donate their bodies to the medical school, and we are
even till now.
Yes, we are taught to treat the dead body with respect.
Right.
You understand?
So like there's a dead body on the table.
Yes, on the table.
And now, okay, they'll show this is the liver, this is the kidney, this is the So all of you get to see that.
We all go through that.
Even
process.
those who be pedics.
Everything, because that is the training. So it's when you finish your MBCH, when you finish your 6 years or your 7 years, and you do your house job, then you decide
where you want
to
specialize.
To do pediatrics, you want to do surgery, whatever I want to do. So that's where you decide to branch out.
Now that was just by the way. Back to the house officer duties. When was the day you came directly into contact with someone that probably died before you? As a young doctor who is full of life, always with a social voice.
I have still not forgotten the name of that person. It's still in my head. I still remember her name. I still remember her age.
Wow.
And I still remember her diagnosis. That was the first person that as a fresh house officer, my team was taking care of her. And I remember she had a very terrible diagnosis. And I kept asking my boss about, but she's so young. He's like, like that's it, so.
How old was he in a range?
17. She was 17 years.
But she was suffering from something that shouldn't be in her age range.
That shouldn't be in her age range. I remember she was on the Confanoche side wards, and like we used to isolate patients there because of like their conditions. And I remember like the day I got to work and like the nurse told me that she had died, like my whole day was bad because I felt like, Charlie, like this girl is too young to die of this condition. You understand?
Was it a condition that was not detected early?
Yes, it was not detected early. And then I remember one of our bosses, he's retired now. I think he noticed that the thing
had shook you.
Yeah, had actually made my day terrible. And he was like, as a doctor, you have to know that people will die. Learn from it and make sure that you do better so that someone does not die of something like this. So then he said, that is what you should keep at the back of your mind, that sometimes regardless of your best efforts, you can lose people, and that is your cemetery. As a doctor, like that is your cemetery. It stays in your mind forever.
Does it stay in your mind because maybe you feel you didn't do something right?
No, I think at that point, I was just a new doctor. I wasn't doing much. I was just following orders. But I felt like this diagnosis is too big for this small girl. You understand? It's like seeing somebody at 17 with a brain tumor. You get it? Now you see it on social media all the time. Somebody is 30 and they have multiple organs. You understand? At that time, I felt like, no, this is too much. But it shapes your thinking. And then it helps you to be empathetic towards people when they come to hospital, and you realize that it is not through any fault of theirs. And family members must be more than ready and more than willing to help.
Brings me to Now, how do you handle family members when there is a loss?
So thankfully, I'm a family physician.
Over the years, now away from even being a medical officer, a house officer.
Yeah, but you see, our job is about dealing with people. It's about managing people. It's about managing all sorts of emotions: anger, grief, sorrow, regret, despair. You have to have a very, very good interpersonal relation with people.
This is YFM.
It's not just the sick person in front of you. It is the family system
all
around the person. All the lives that probably depend on the person. That's what you have to manage. So when somebody passes on and you have to break the news to the person or to the family, you have to be extremely sensitive about it. You understand? You have to put yourself in their shoes and understand that this is someone that they loved who has moved on. You just go and say, no, it's terrible practice. It's about letting people understand usually the process leading to the death and giving them time to grieve. Sometimes you tell somebody, about the passing of their relative, especially in Kumasi, and they'll say,
oh, they say that?
Yes. Or they say, like, can you let me see the person for one last time?
But they're going to see the person anyway.
Yes, but some people want when it's just happened to say something. As a healthcare person, doesn't matter whether you're a doctor, nurse, or whatever, give them that 5 minutes, that 10 minutes to
let it all out.
Let it all out. It's very cathartic. It brings down a lot of, because people die and there's a lot of unspoken stuff
and unanswered questions.
Yes, people want to apologize. People want to say, give them that room. Trust me, that brings a lot of closure, and it makes you, the healthcare person, you understand? Because then they are very understanding of what you have to do next. You understand? And like I told you, medicine is about people. It's about, we're seeing people, we're seeing human beings. So if the person comes to sit in front of you, let's say one man, I'm talking to another human being, and you want to be all high and mighty, yes, you write a medication, they won't take it. Understand?
This is YFM.
They must trust that what Dr. Abnaki is telling me, she cares about, and that's why she's asking me to do this.
Right. Away from death, what about people with a particular ailment that are going to be on medicine for a very long time? For instance, illnesses that are stigmatized, like HIV/AIDS. How do you break the news to the person?
I mean, those ones are never easy. The easier ones are things like, give me the diabetes and hypertension any day, I'll break the news all the time. But
look at Dr. Gyimah.
But things like something like HIV/AIDS, for instance, it's a very difficult conversation, and you don't just go about and break the news just like that. You need to counsel the person.
Do you judge them?
Why would you judge them? You can as well get HIV. Have you checked? You understand? We in our line of work, you can be pricked by a needle from a patient who is infected, and that's it. You're also an HIV patient. So
by circumstances.
Yes. So why judge? People have HIV not because of any
fault of theirs.
Yes. You understand? So judging, and people read body language. As talking, they know you judge them. They won't come back for the medication. Because you're supposed to counsel them. You're supposed to let them understand that, okay, yes, you have HIV, but it's not a death sentence. There are medications, there are treatments you can take. It's like 2 pills a day. Okay, people are hypertensive, they're taking 4 pills a day. Okay, so do this, like live well, get a support system. Okay, there are HIV patients whose partners are also come for the medications for them. Yes, there are partners who say don't know, and some have lived 15 years, 20 years. They look well
without infecting their partners.
If your viral load is very low,
Okay.
We have HIV positive mothers who give birth to kids, and none of them have HIV because they've stuck to the treatment, and they are making sure that they're taking it. So you don't judge people in medicine. It's not through anybody's fault that they get any medical condition. Even when you think it's their fault, it's not in your place to judge.
With over
This
15
is
years
YFM.
of medical practice, what are some of the challenges that you think has been there long since you joined, and even after a decade and more, it's still lingering around?
I think that one of the challenges that we face in medical practice now, well, it's always been there, is that sometimes we find it. You see, it's very easy to play God, or to think you are God-like when you're a doctor
Because of what you do.
Yes. Sometimes people find it very difficult to accept that this is how much I can do, and the rest
It's up to God.
is up to God.
Oh, you guys get to that point?
Why you think that we are not?
No, I mean I know, but you get to a point where you know that you're convinced that this person's situation is beyond.
You are supposed to do what you are trained to do, okay? And that is why you cannot and you must not separate spirituality from health.
But Mate Bibi, mutumi kache obi say, maybe a patient we munyin kofi. Is that ever done, and why?
Okay, so now it's not done as much because now we have something called palliative care. There are some conditions that just because of the progression of the disease, you know that the person has a shorter lifespan.
Like what?
Oh, about if somebody has like an end stage kidney illness.
Okay.
Cancer which has spread to their brain, to their lungs, to their bones. You know that
YFM.
And let me ask again. I mean, my inquisitive mind. You know, when there is a sore on your body, you can see it like a chrono. And I understand cancer is like, that's what they tell you for you to understand. So does it mean there are sores inside your system?
Well, that's what they would say. Some people understand, but it's more than that.
But how do you people see that there is cancer?
Oh, there are so many modalities. CT scan, MRI.
So it makes you see there's an abnormal growth somewhere.
You will see it. For something like breast cancer, if you're a woman, you feel it in your breast.
Right. So how does breast cancer now travels all to your brain and all that?
Because
what's the connection?
Because the cancer is not stuck in the breast, though. It's pressed through your bloodstream.
Ah, so now your bloodstream becomes cancerous.
No, so now it's your blood that is transporting the cancer cells.
Okay.
You understand? So there are people who have, advanced stages of disease, and you have to let relatives be aware. Because sometimes somebody is probably middle-aged, they don't have a will, probably have properties. So,
but this is their condition. Irreversible.
Yes. So you talk to your relatives that you know what. It's part of medicine now. There's a growing consciousness around making sure that patients, if even they are going to die with dignity. You
guys are almost on strike every time.
Oh, we have stopped.
Yeah, almost strike or Ghana ha. Mean too kinda doctors.
Yeah, Jai.
Kakrebia, we are putting down tools until the government reasons with us. Exactly what is lacking so much our healthcare industry anymore. Ama mota strikers and ama the joy like you said, commitment and desire to serve people sometimes is not there, that you want to stay back. And even before you answer that, I'm most strike. I'm dreaming with some bit my Ariana. Now most strike.
So strikes are declared by our associations. And
but you guys form a part of the association.
Yes, so once our association directs, we move. But I mean, it's a tool. We've stopped using it now as often as we used to in the past because we were pushing for some comfort in life, and some of those things have been done. So now you don't hear that we go on strikes that often. Now really threaten it to get what we want, then
you withdraw. Mama strike, I'm doing some bit my area.
Oh, you're doing hopa. But even sometimes, even when we strike, I remember those days when we used to go on strike. There's always like a certain level of medical cover available. Sometimes we are inside the hospital. Like we won't go to the OPD, but we are inside the hospital working, still seeing patients, doing surgeries and everything. We still do those things. But for people to come and sit at the consulting room near there, they need to say that the Kojambia Kochiche Hona said,
what was your first surgery experience?
It was shout out to Parker. I don't know where he is now. So he was my anesthetist for my first cesarean section that I did.
Oh, you've done a CS before?
Oh, happened.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I've done many.
I see. And how do you feel when the babies pop out? Like a balloon?
It feels it's fulfilling because you're helping bring life into the world.
Because before the CS is done, you and the mother do not know who is inside. Finally, you pull it out and say, "Look at the TV."
It was really, really fulfilling, and I'm always thankful to Parker because he was also training as an anesthetist.
Okay.
So we're good friends. So I was like, Charlie, you are learning, I'm learning. Like, so today it's 2 learners.
Sir, so it was a trial thing?
It wasn't trial. Like, you are trained on how to do it.
Okay.
But it's not easy to hold
the scalpel
and cut another human being.
I know,
it's not easy. Before you even do that, you would have assisted, in doing, you assist somebody who is more experienced in doing it. And they've taught you how to close up and what to look out for and all those things. So I had really, really good teachers, like Dr. Nyoku, Dr. Champong, Dr. Larsen Reindorf, Professor Pareado. Like, they were interested in us learning to do it properly. So on the first day that you did it, you had all the skill. But there's always some anxiety. But I mean, when you're able to do it and everything goes, so you're like, Oza.
So why didn't you specialize in OBS, GYN? and does it mean that even till now you can still do a cesarean section?
It's part of the basic skill requirements.
So
of
I can
doctor.
actually schedule you for a CS without having to.
I'll charge you in pounds.
I won't pay.
But it's a basic skill of every doctor to know how to do some things.
Right.
Cesarean section, ectopic pregnancies, appendix removals, hernia surgeries.
Okay.
Minor lumps and bumps. There's some things that you're supposed to do when you're doing house job.
Right.
There's a book that if you do one beer, we take.
And it brings me to, how do you know that Yarewe Nedroni? Because
I'll bring one of my textbooks.
Please no, I won't. Is there a book that there's Yarewe Nedroni? Because if you had said yes, I would have asked that. Daily manufacturing companies of drugs are also coming up with new stuff. For instance, these days, I remember my mom's pressure drugs. Sometimes you go and they'll say, brand win, you will win our home. So then how would the doctor know that, okay, Yari pa wababe describe it,
so like there are principles to medicine. So once you know the principle, once you understand the foundation of it, it doesn't matter what new drug is. Every new drug is based on a certain principle. So once it's a new drug and it's based on a certain principle, then you know that, okay, once the person has, let's say, hypertension, and I have to give the person a calcium channel blocker, this is what is available, because the principle is that these drugs are calcium channel blockers.
Then you read every day.
You have to.
You need to stay.
You need to subscribe
informed.
to journals. You need to keep yourself updated. So as doctors, we do a lot of training. So almost every time, my kids will say, "Hey, Daddy, every day you're on meeting." Like there's always a Zoom meeting about something, a new drug, a new protocol, a new something. So you keep your knowledge fresh. And
but even
this is YFM.
pharmacists being trained at a very, very high level.
This is.
And hospitals or medicine has a certain gatekeeper system. In some trade journals and metia. Okay, if I write something and it's wrong in terms of the dose or the frequency,
should be able to even.
The pharmacist will call your attention and say, "Did you mean to write this?"
Okay.
And pharmacists are smart too.
So now be a ton legal medicine. Legally a drug.
A legal poison.
Drug dealer.
So like sometimes they'll call you and say, "Oh," and I had really good friends who were pharmacists in Confana. I mean, they are still my friends. Paulus of Mary Pharmacy, Professor Amma Ohinyeje, the lady who hosts the Science and Maths quiz now, who has a house of Select, she was a pharmacist. And we had a really, really good rapport.
Right.
She would call and say, Kwasi, like, did you mean to write this? And I say, well, like, do you mean for us to give you all the 6 liters? Like, they'll always sort of cross-check with you.
Yes, so that something doesn't
exactly.
go
So
wrong.
that's
and Mohan writing there.
I really have a very, very good handwriting. I don't know about the others.
Yes, like are they trained to write like that?
No, I think people just have bad handwritings. Their doctors with really good handwritings.
And your crowd. But we show first line in my folder. We show us a pretty canal.
Some of us have really good handwritings.
Away from all the flip side, we have really transformed Mampong General Hospital.
Being a helper.
I am proud to say that because I went to Mampong Senior High School.
Yeah. You went
and there were days where I get sick, or I got sick and I was taken to the Mampong Hospital. I remember I went there, and you see, you have never asked me why I have hidden my name, Lodina. So a doctor actually had I don't know if he had a bad relationship with someone Lodina or had a bad encounter, and I kid you not, if I had the knowledge I have now,
you'd have sued him.
I'm telling you, he actually did not see me because of my name. I was told that his time was up, but he had a chance to see me before his shift, like he was completely done. Saw my folder and said I was Lodina, and he went. So I had to wait for the next doctor.
A bad experience, and we are sorry.
Please, you are not.
We are sorry. This
is YFM.
I don't know if he's still in the medical, system.
Maybe he's not.
But
because you finished school a long time ago.
But not me who said a Mampong Hospital team, especially the MBU. One of our teachers gave birth. So went to visit her, and I saw how the maternity block looked compared to now. I won't lie on radio, I've not been there myself recently, but I've seen footages of how it has been done. One, where did you birth the dream of transforming that block? And two, how difficult was it? I would say how easy was it? How difficult was it getting everybody who came on board to make that dream materialize? And with the maternity block,
change is difficult, Abna, and I mean nobody should take it lightly. Change is difficult. When I went
YFM
in December of 2018, Mampong is a historic hospital. The Mampong Hospital is a very unique hospital.
Yeah,
it's 2 hospitals in one.
Oh, there are 2?
So the maternity is a separate hospital. So the maternity started as a separate hospital. That was the only hospital in Mampong in the 40s and yes, it was just a maternity hospital. It was run by the Anglican sisters.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It was part of the whole Anglican setup. So that hospital, I think the maternity is about 75 years old this year.
Okay.
And then there's a general side. The 2 hospitals are separated by just about a kilometer of road.
Yeah.
So when I went to Mampong Hospital, it was a challenge, and now I think back, and I always pray for the memory of our late king, because actually he called me on phone, and I'll never forget. He called me on a Sunday on phone because I was in Nejeso.
Yes, I'm sure when you were living there, like whoever is taking me to Mampong, God will judge you.
I was in Nejeso, and I had a nurse whose father is a chief at Nejeso, and she had said a lot of things about me to her father. That's all, like I do well, blah blah blah. So her father had also spoken to Mampong and said, let's go and bring this guy. So on a Sunday, I was at work. I was doing ward rounds, and I received a call from Mampohene, and he was like, he wants me to come and see the hospital and
see what you can do for them.
I can't say no. So just when I ended the call and finished what I was doing, a car was outside, and it was the municipal chief executive of Mampong then, Mr. Thomas Apia Kubi, who is a really good friend now, and he drove me to Mampong.
Had you been there before?
No, that was my first time. So I went, I saw the place, we had a conversation about what could be done, and I told him that a lot of these things you want to be done need support. I'm not a magician. So fast forward, I went to Mampong. I realized that the maternity is like the lifeblood of the hospital, is the heartbeat of the hospital. And I looked at the data and I realized that they had a small place where we were keeping preterm babies, but the numbers on survival were not good. Because sometimes if the child is really, really sick, you have to put that sick baby in an ambulance and drive from Mampong to Konfanoche.
But the
babies were not making it. Few were making it, some were not making it. So where we have our MBU now, it used to be a kitchen, like an abandoned kitchen that was there for years. Rats and all sorts of creatures lived there. So we had some visitors from a UK organization called Ashanti Development. They're a group of doctors who do good around the world. So they came, I met them in Mampong, and they had already come to do something small in Mampong. So they asked me that, I'm the new guy here, what do I want to do? I said, okay, I'm going to put something together and then I'll send it to you. But it is on newborn health. So they went back. I put a beautiful proposal together. I went to Augustine's College.
We know.
We're the gentlemen of the coast.
We know.
So I put something together with very, very good pictures
and
very, very good data. And I sent it to them with a budget. Within like 3 days, then they sent me an email that they have a contractor. He wants to come on site and start the project.
Wow.
Yes. So quickly I had to, and my partner in the MBU is Nana Jakuma Difie the second at Santiman Hima, and that is how we became very, very close.
You owe me here,
I know. A bit busy, but
yes,
I mean.
This is YFM.
So when I discussed, I remember I met her, the first day I met her, I discussed it with her. And I had no idea that she had had a preterm baby and she went to sleep at Konfanoche in those days.
Wow.
I had no idea.
She herself.
So when I was talking to her about the MBU and how I want to do it, and I'm just saying in her head, this gentleman, he doesn't know what I've gone through before.
Don't to cut you in. If you've never had a first-hand experience of MBU, you wouldn't understand. My experience with Ryan, who wasn't even a preterm, shook me and it changed my narrative. I'm sure beyond eyesight that I'm passionate about, it will be baby mother health. I speak about it every day. It's terrorizing. I think it's traumatizing.
It's traumatizing because you see, you've brought a child into the world, and it's 50-50.
So,
more or less.
Incubator
It's true. So I think I broached the idea of Mampohim, and I remember as soon as I ended, she said, "Doc, your spirit and my spirit are one.
We'll do it.
So we'll do it." And we pushed. We pushed. By the time the building was done, between Mampohima and I, and other staff in the hospital who were also calling people and everything, we had all the equipment of the MBU ready.
Wow.
By the time they finished the building, we had all our equipment ready. We had solar panels on the building ready. We had batteries. Before we opened the building,
you were ready for the building.
And I have to say, I'm very grateful to the nurses that we started with.
God bless them.
Because I know I took them to a difficult time. Because I wanted the thing done well. So I took 14 nurses, brought them to Hope Exchange, Santasi. I came to book. Do you know Adumfie?
What's Adumfie?
Adumfie, it's a Catholic hostel
Okay.
It's a Catholic area of prayer. It's a Catholic house of prayer.
Okay.
But they have hostels there.
Right.
It's just next to Hope Exchange.
Okay.
I brought these people's wives and sweethearts. I came to book dorms for them.
Right.
They came to stay there for 1 month.
To do what?
To come and learn, because Hope Exchange had an MBU.
Yes, a beautiful one.
So they went there to go and learn how to be MBU nurses for 1 month.
Oh.
It took.
Also, it's a different thing being a nurse.
Yes, and it's a different thing taking care of small babies.
Ampa, because they're very, very small, preemie ones. They're 26 weeks,
even
30 weeks.
Their medications and everything.
How to pick them up and all that.
Dr. Adoma Foko, who is my superstar, and then Dr. Rita Ebua, who is at Kumasi South, and then Dr. Ashura, who is at Sontre. So they sort of guided us. They are already pediatricians who take care of neonates. So they were like, Gyimah, do this. Let the nurses go for training. So like the MBU, like it was on my head, but God.
You wanted to get it right.
I wanted to make sure we're getting it right, because Abner, you're doing this and people are going to bring their kids there and want to make sure that every child is survives. So from day one that we started, we take data every day. The first year we opened the MBU, we admitted 593 babies. Yes, in 1 year. 500 yes, 593. It's on my phone now. 593 babies.
Please tell me how many survived.
We only lost 11 in the first year.
Okay.
In the second year, we admitted about 600 and only lost 9. So we're like for the whole year.
Extreme cases, right?
Yes, for the whole year, 9. And we've been able to, and we document it. We've been able to take care of babies who were born at around 6.5 months. Yes.
That is relatively how many weeks?
That's around 25, 26 weeks.
In Sakra.
Yes. I have one picture on my phone now. When she was born, she could fit in my palm.
And she has survived.
She's 2 years old now.
Oh, yeah, money. How many days?
Yes.
They've been warriors since birth. So you can't show them nothing.
She's 2
years
old.
I have one
now.
In my area.
She's 2 years old.
A friend antenna.
So like, that is what gives us joy. And for that first 26 weeker that we saved in Mampong, a family in Accra, like a very gracious family in Accra, just last 2 months called me and said they want to adopt the child, not physically, but they want to pay for the child's education from now till she completes university. Till she completes university.
What's her name?
We call her Angel.
Oh, she really is.
Yes, we named her Angel.
This is YFM.
When you are leader, and I'm not saying that we fixed everything in Mampong, but you have to start from somewhere.
But what would make a 26-week-old baby want to come out?
So many things. Preterm labor and all that. Like there are so many complications in medicine that can cause that. So for me, as somebody who works at the community level, you always need community support.
We need this clarification too for our pregnant mothers and all that listening. I've heard that preterm boys don't survive as much as the girls do.
It's just old wives' tales. It's untrue.
Okay, so there's nothing like that.
The data does not support it. Yes.
Now, what's the future for Mampong Government Hospital?
So, what we decided to do.
And to chip this in, please, how do you plan to sustain? Because your problem back as Ghanaians is sustainability. I didn't know but how to manage it and keep it running for as long as it should.
So let me answer a question from the back.
Right.
So whatever you do, if you want to sustain it, make sure that it includes. It's very inclusive. Let everybody buy into your idea, and more importantly, write out your sustainability plan. Okay. That this is how to maintain this TV. This is how to change. This is when you should do it. Put it down. Put it in a manual.
So that we all follow it.
Everybody follows it. For us in Mampong, actually this year is the golden jubilee of the general side of the hostel. this year the general wing is 50 years old, and we were actually in the process of planning
until what happened.
You know, we had our incident, but I know that the spirit, the goodwill, the heart
of Dasibre resides with you.
Is part of what we're planning, because we're planning this year to do a massive renovation at the hospital. You know, the hospitals, it's not easy to run a hospital.
Why?
If you don't have, you look at Confanochi. This is a huge institution. To even renovate one block. Yes, and you have to get helpers. You can't use the
people who believe in your dream.
You can't use the hospital money that is meant for drugs.
Do you
and
even
other
have
things.
money? Does the hospital have money?
We have small. You can't use that money to be doing those things. So our goal is that we want Mampon to become a shining example on that mountain.
Absolutely.
So as God wills it and as God gives us strength, we'll keep pushing.
Do you see yourself leaving Mampon General Hospital very soon?
As God wills it. If
what do you say?
So this will be my 7th year.
Hey, then I've known you for long.
Yes, but you know, I have known Abnake from when she was a voice.
It's okay. We beg
focus.
We beg
This is YFM.
I mean, if like with the work that we do as medical superintendents, you can be reshuffled, you can be reassigned to go somewhere else, but anywhere else that you're supposed to go there and go and make
a difference.
So for me, if my boss calls me and says that I should, I pack up and leave Mampon tomorrow.
We're talking a bit about, in fact, a lot about medicine. Let's touch a little about your desire to make creatives grow. Why are you so interested in people in the media, in the music scene? Why are you so interested in us? Why? What do you want from us? Why do you want us to shine more than we want to shine? Why?
Because you have to shine. It's because, well, for me.
How are you able to spot potentials?
It's a gift.
I would agree with you.
It's a gift. I remember spotting Gyakie at the mall. I think very few people know this story, so I don't tell it often. Like Gyakie came to Pinkberry, and we're doing High Life at the mall, and she just walked up to the mic and started singing, and like that was it. We hosted her first jazz show at Golden Bean. You understand? Kim Paluta. You understand? I saw him and I said, you know what, you go far.
Na doctor die. It's
because of my social friends. No, but
that is true.
But like for me, music is a savior for me. No matter if I find myself in difficulty, if I find myself going through a difficult moment, my
coping mechanism
is music.
This is YFM.
You learn with music.
Yeah.
You learn with music.
I'm a different person, don't worry. I learn with music.
You know what we're talking about, Matt? One of my classmates texted me. He was trying to be mischievous, told me that I had A+ in quantitative method. I told him I failed gruesomely.
So for me,
so how will I learn with?
So music is really, it's a good thing for me. I remember when I lost my brother last year. I was telling Mr. Carter that coincidentally that was when I also heard the first time about AraTheJay's.
Okay.
So I listened to his song, like Jesus Christ, and I played that song for over 2 months every morning after my brother's death. I'm like, you have to find something for you to do. Like, ultimately be Shao Kong. You understand? Like PUBG. You understand? PUBG can call me on the phone. Doc, so the PUBG and friends, they say, I'm awake. Let's talk. Okay, it's okay.
You need to have an
identity.
You
meet me at the Pal Locals. Let me buy you fufu and let's do this. So like Mr. Carter, I'm like, he did Easter in Easter with Carter.
I saw it was beautiful.
I called him someone in general, and I was like, this year you do your own show. You call it Easter Recata. Have you heard? And I ended the call. Then later I texted him that whatever you need, call me. I'll be there for you. I feel that is what I have to give back to people.
This is YFM.
It will come back to me some way, somehow. So, yeah, that's it.
And we'll be a better Linda Mensa. I want to say, Linda said, Doctor, the music, ne, and your man, you make count for Finally, we are ready. Our time is up. But let's talk about Kumasi Auto Show. What happened to the Kumasi Auto Show? It came.
And all my events.
Yes, it shook Kumasi. I mean, you need to bring Kumasi Auto Show back. How did that get birth?
Okay, so I'm eclectic. You know, things, just come to me. So I just sat down and I was like, why don't we have a car show? Okay, so I went around and I asked people at the various showrooms, Toyota, Magana, whoever. I was like, how many people walk into your showrooms in a month? And the guy was like, I don't know. I was like, why don't you take your showroom outside?
Okay.
I was like, what do you mean? And I said, if I do a car show and I ask you to bring the cars here and come and pack them here and let people see them, like bring the showroom to people, don't you think it makes sense? Because walking into a showroom means you have money to come and buy the car.
Exactly, yo.
But I can't walk into a showroom and just come and look at the cars, open the door, smell the fresh car scent and walk out.
Is it a perfume? Even a perfume crowd. If you don't
so
buy.
I remember the first person I talked to said, this is a good idea. So he got on the phone and called his boss, and he put his boss on speaker and said, there's a guy here who says he's doing an auto show in Kumasi. I had not written any proposal then. So the guy asked me, what's the name of your show? I said, Kumasi Auto Show. And he said, okay, I'll text you my email address. Send me the proposal.
Okay.
I always have my laptop in my car.
Okay.
So I drove off, went to sit somewhere, and started typing and looking for things. I put the document together. Put the document together, put a budget together, and sent it. When I sent it, they were like, send us your account number and let's move. And before that, I'm in my company, e-commerce events. We had been doing a lot of events, baby and mom fair, jazz in the city. We stopped a lot of it over the last couple of years. I think it's about 2 years, because the economy just got terrible. And then post-COVID, people were a bit uncomfortable going to public spaces. So around 2021, we didn't really do much. 2022, 2023, the economy just got bad. So we're hoping that now there's a bit more, now there's a change in government, people are a bit more
willing to spend.
I think people are a bit more optimistic because just because things have changed. Yes, so we're just going to observe that, because see, when you're an event organizer, you work with people's money. You don't want to take somebody's money and waste it.
True.
So when some people come to me, oh doc, I want you to organize. I remember somebody came to me and said he wants me to organize Ghana Wedding something awards. I said no.
Ghana Wedding Awards.
And I said Ghana Wedding Awards. And I was like, what is that? And he sent me the document. And I was like, listen, the money in it is good, but I'll waste your money because it doesn't make sense.
Ghana Wedding Vendors Awards, or
it was something very funny.
Who had a good wedding, or
Charlie?
So so
it's for
but
me.
you know, for cars, everybody dreams of owning a car.
But we didn't just do cars. I mean, we did some good events for MTN Ghana and some other companies, Wear Ghana and all that. And I think that it really also opened my eyes to the business world. It really made me a lot of good friends. I know Akosa is listening. Akosa from MTN, good evening. And all those people have become very, very good friends now. And we'll restart things. So people always come and ask me, Doc, into jazz, no way Gyakie.
Kwame from Toyota is saying that auto show for come back again.
I know, Kwame. So, I know. We'll come back, don't worry. Cecilia, we can't use Abnake as a model.
Why?
Do you want me to say?
Don't do that to Jesus.
Do you want me to say?
You don't have to be the one to spill the beans. When there's no beans on the
This
fire.
is YFM.
Talking to you.
It's been good being here.
But personally, my main cousin Medasi.
Oh, don't do that.
Let me do it.
Don't do
I don't know where I have called you that you have not showed up, except you missed Ryan's naming ceremony. If you miss, okay, never mind. And thank you for the opportunities you gave me, and you have always given me. I'll tell you what, you've been bothering me to find an identity.
Yeah.
And it will surprise you to know that today I had a wake-up call on something, and it's in fact I had forgotten that you are even on the show today. So when I saw your car, I said, this man should not come in here. I have what he's looking for. He will stop bothering me and all that. I'd like to say thank you on behalf of myself and all the creatives that you have influenced. And sometimes when I talk about you, I get teary. Don't mind. But I'm just grateful because not a lot of people believe in you. Not a lot of people give you a chance. Because like I was saying, before you could be the doctor, you had to you needed to get one doctor to give you the chance to try. And here you are, being celebrated all over. You have people who are so excited to know that you're on the show. And so thank you. I think working with you, having that encounter with you opened me to a lot of opportunities.
I'm glad.
And I know you want to cut me, but
I'm glad.
And I know that I know of the many places of opportunities that you mention my name at. They tell me, maybe I don't call you every day, but I hear it. And let me also remind you that I only got married. I didn't get it. It wasn't like I was signed up for a job. So you stopped sending me money every month. You need to stop that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today I spoke to Dr. Kwasi Baffour Gyimah, the medical superintendent of Mampong General Hospital. And on this note, please, Mampong General Hospital, you hear more. Into the old hospital, dear. I'm a cousin.
YFM.
I will be a dabremo. And there will be two and near fee. I dear Bessana one could defeat.
Yeah, let me say one thing before you sign out. I have to also say a very big thank you from my side to my brother and twin, Mr. Kwame Dumante and Lana Nampachum.
Yes.
And let me also say that this year on World Menstrual Hygiene Day in May, Mampong, we're looking to share. Okay, we want to share over 1,000 sanitary pads for all the young girls in Mampong. And yesterday, the CEO for Marcot Surgicals, Mr. Marcos, I went there to go and buy a box because I told my nurses that Metos pad box as my donation for the project. So when I went, he asked me, I told him before I left, he had added his own box to it.
Wow.
Yes, he added another box.
How many pieces are in a box?
I think 24.
Okay.
And then he added a box to it, and then he added a whole sack of panty liners to it, free.
Wow.
Yeah, so like there are good people out there, and I think that, listen, it doesn't have to be only Mampong. If there's a government hospital near you,
visit them.
Walk in and say, one bucket of paint, wall clock, bed sheets back, something. It goes a long way. It really goes a long way.
And motivate the doctors too, okay?
And the nurses.
So that they can smile.
And the nurses.
Yes, and the nurses, they are my friends, but sometimes we
This is YFM.
Don't do that to me. Don't see me anyway. Hello to Honesty Media says, I'm listening from Esieboa. Hello to Linda Mensa says, God bless you, Doc. Hello to Raphael Rapella Rabenja says, my guy. Patrick Camilo says, Kwasi Baffour Gyimah regards. Obapa Biko says, Mrs. Abnaki, send me who watch it. Please, it's your, I won't read it. I won't read the comment. DJ Napok says, greetings to you, Doc. Doc, let me take a few callers, okay?
Okay.
My time now so abro, so Maxido. Please call me on 0246 807 545. I am managing short. Why? And Dr. Kwasi Baffour Gyimah and a Kasai from Mampong. Inti friend encourage you know. If say the hospital and no it's not easy. So give me a call now on 0246 807 545. Let me take just 2 callers. And then we are done here. 0246 807 545. But Doc, as we are waiting for the callers, would you want to? Okay, I think my first caller is here. Mamo and shout out. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Sweetie, let us say.
Passion me adom na way.
Radia do me who dey say bon grace time.
Passion.
A friend say.
The Magdalene.
Magdalene Pachoka say free.
Kumasi Adwato.
Kumasi hey.
Adwato.
Okay, Pacho, what do you want to say to doctor?
Pacho say.
Na pesa okache doctor.
Kache doctor something ya me shane be in fact me name not me penasto.
Okay, Magdalene.
So I'm penna down for.
That open down for there this over who mini pay anyway. Magdalene, thank you so much for calling. 2 more callers. Just 2, and we are done here. I spoke to Dr. Kwasi Baffour Gyimah of Mampong Government Hospital. Hello, good evening. Pacho to say. Dum Pacho me hoye pa ye fro say. Choka se free. Sorry. Atonsu. Pacho, what dinner catch doctor?
I think NYDJ Mr. Gata Moment.
Where at the phone been our friend? So Wakata no dog. Nyamisha Pawati, Micha Tonsufuni na. Final caller, and we are out of here. Very final caller. My last caller na Yapon. 0246 807 545. Let's check out who's on the line. Hello, good evening. Dana to say. Me a fit. Your fro say. Tina Tincho Yanko.
Oh, don't know I am no more. Yeah, ready a banner. I'm holding I am I'm holding I don't think I'm waiting and I'm my phone and not swallow.
Senior Nyamisha pa. Doc na Pacho uni shout outs BIA. We 2 pay.
Oh, shout out to my kids. They just called me to ask me when I'm coming.
I'm on Kaho. Pablo, you and your sisters are not parts. Any other person?
Shout out to the guys at Orange FM.
Right.
My producer, Alyssa, she does a good job of making sure I have something to talk about every day. And shout out to everybody who knows me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an eventful night. I'll come here again next week Wednesday.
This is YFM.
With another person who's going to charge you. But if there's anything we are taking home with Dr. Gyimah, is that life is like an egg. All right? If you hold it too tight, it breaks. If you don't care for it, it may fall. And see, okay, or no, as a doctor, no baby, you to me. Mammy, so did ye? Why? One I made them impaired and in the sun, your man work on them. Drink a lot of water. Now, kidney, 2 crown a day, never half. Stay away from things that irritate your body. Let's take care of our bodies because this is all we have, all right? At the end of the day, we are going to die, I know, but you don't have to go earlier than all of us. Wait, when we are all 90, there we go. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Hey, Linda, long time. Yes, so I haven't seen you since